going on, guys? It's Dan Man, aka Daniel's son, and I just got done watching the 4 hour Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. Now, I actually watched the Whedon Justice League, preparing for when I got into this last night. It is a long. It's a movie, guys. I can see why it wasn't gonna work as a TV series. It's a long one. It's definitely needs an intermission. I watched 2 hours at midnight, and then I finished it off just right now. And I am happy to say this. I came into this, and while watching it, I really liked it. But at the end of this, I actually love it. Now, this is a spoiler discussion, so this is a spoiler review, so I'm going to dive into things. And of course, it still has some of the same setups and storyline as the Whedon Justice League. But man, was this handled so much better in the hands of the man who this was all his, and that's Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder, really, I think he hit a home run here. I think he really kicked ass here. Say what you say, I dislike his Batman v Superman film. I thought that was a mess. I did like his Man of Steel. I actually really liked it. I think there is parts in there that I didn't like either, that a lot of people could agree on. But this one, I actually, you know what, for what it was and for his vision and doing some of the reshots, getting a little bit of a budget to finish this off, I think he did a fantastic job. I think he did. He really fixed a lot of issues that was Whedon's Justice League. And I am super happy to see that, Wonder Woman in the Whedon version, I really love the dynamic between Diana and Bruce. I wish there was a little bit more in the Zack Snyder. We only get like moments where she's touching his hand while they're in little cute moments like that. It's kind of an awkward moment, but you still get you can see that they're the two heads of the Justice League, of forming the Justice League team. Zack Snyder, if he does, I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but the man should direct Wonder Woman 3 because he really knows how to capture the Amazonians and really knows how to do Wonder Woman justice, man. Wonder Woman is fierce in this cut. There's a little bit more footage of the or it's not the bank robbery, but the hostage situation, which was awesome. There's one scene where I was like, oh shit, that wasn't in the Whedon version. He just kicked ass with Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was great. The only issue I had is the music usage, right? I mean, the la, 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 like when the chick's singing in the background, it works maybe one or two times, but you don't have to constantly beat me over the head with that song throughout the movie, Zach. So I think that he should have took a music choice wise. I do love that we still have the Wonder Woman theme. The Wonder Woman theme is awesome. She does have that. I guess in Whedon's it's more, I guess, compassion or something like that. But in this one, like she has a little. You get little things here and there. But man, when she's like fighting Steppenwolf, it's awesome. Like she's not backing down. And honestly, they fixed the ending where Superman comes, and of course he's a big element to the fight in the Zack Snyder verse. But when Superman comes in, he's not the whole thing like Whedon's. Like it seemed like everybody was nothing until Superman came. But in this Snyder cut, like Wonder Woman is still kicking ass. She's still holding her own. She's not fully defeated. Same with Aquaman. So it seemed like it was Superman was just a missing piece, but they all were working together and they all had benefited from the fight. Wonder Woman in this is hands down amazing. I loved her in this. The color palette that they use, that Zach used, especially with now a lot of people were talking about, with Whedon's, the color palette was really ugly. And this one makes sense because, Zach had his dark kind of palette for Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. And it works here because Batman's suit actually really goes with it. And because it looked really funny in Whedon's. But Ben Affleck looks really, really a hell of a lot better, and definitely the Snyder cut than the Whedon cut. I will say his Bruce is really. I think Ben Affleck did a fantastic. I think he really did a great job. I think Ben Affleck in here, he looks so much better in this version than the Whedon version. And I would say that Zack, as towards the end of the fight, when Batman is using a gun, taking out all the was it the parademons? I think that Zack should, his approach to Batman should have been a little bit more wrote Batman and his fighting scenes a little bit better, honestly. But Batman's, he kind of isn't. It's more Bruce, honestly, in this Snyder cut. It's more Bruce, which is great because Ben Affleck is a great Bruce Wayne, and I think he's a great Batman. But I think other than, they really got him right in the warehouse scene. But other than that, I think his action sequences could be a little bit more uniqueness to it. And then I still feel like this Batman is not as doesn't do the same things, like, especially when he's forming the Justice League and the Snyder cut. He's still not the same Batman I would think the Batman like the anime series or just the Batman in the comics would kind of go away about it. This Batman's a little bit different. He's not as friendly as Whedon's, thank God, but he's just taking it. He's taking the forming his Justice League a little bit different than I thought he would. So the color palette, and to really contrast with Batman's suits, makes it so much better, way better. It's not as funny looking. It's more. It definitely suits the mood, the tone. It's crazy how you could change the tone of this just for a little, just change the tone, and it makes the film completely different and better. This is a better looking film. This is a better tone. This is a better overall story that Zack is telling. He does a fantastic job telling the story of just getting these guys together. I think Steppenwolf is a huge improvement. I like the new look. There are some spots like when he's walking and you have a faraway shot where he looks a little bit, the background and him, he looks a little CGI, but the face is what got me. Steppenwolf and Whedon's was terrible. The face I thought was terrible. This one, though, the eyes is what really intrigued me and really got me into this character. And then just the fact that because you could see when he's talking about dark side or dark seed, and you could see the just the emotion. You see more emotion out of Steppenwolf, and you get more out of Steppenwolf. He does disappear like towards the end, towards like the part 3 or part 4. But he is a hell of a lot better. I love the action sequence between him and the Amazonians. That's one of my favorite sequences. It's a little bit more brutal now. Like I said, the color palette, the change of tone just makes it so much better, and it's not as comical. And you take it more serious. I think there's a little bit too over usage of the slow mo, but Zack is known for that. You do get that 300 type kind of feel for it, but some of the slow-mo shots do work. But with Lois Lane, like, really, do we need a slow-mo of Lois Lane? I get you're trying to get us to have an emotional response to it. I still think Lois Lane and Henry Cavill, or Amy Adams and Henry Cavill, Superman, I don't think they have very good chemistry. I never thought they had good chemistry. I thought that was a miscast, honestly, and I still feel that way to this day. But I do like Diane Lane as the mom. I still don't get why people would love Superman after Batman v Superman, because how much destruction he's caused. I feel like he hasn't earned that just yet, and it still doesn't work for the Snyder cut. But it feels like it's moving towards it. It feels like this Superman does have a chance. Unfortunately, I don't know what WB is going to do, but I think Henry Cavill should still play this role, and I think he should continue as Superman. We barely get any Superman in the Snyder cut, which is fine. I'm okay with it. We got enough of him to make me a satisfied camper. Absolutely loved the callback to Man of Steel when he was brought back, especially when he's in the ship, and then you get the dialogue and the music. You have his dad of Russell Crowe, and then you have Pa Kent, narrating, tell him to fly. Like, I freaking love that scene. That scene was great. That scene was awesome. It was a callback to Man of Steel when he first learned how to fly. It was so good. I do not like Superman. I'm a big Batman fan, but the understanding of that and getting that feeling back from when I watched the Man of Steel and that first flight, it was great. So Superman is barely in it. I do like the suit. It would make more sense if they explained that that's a healing suit instead of just him wearing that, the black suit. He'll go back to his original colors if they do anything with this afterwards. Cyborg is really good in this too. I liked him in actually Whedon's version, and I like him in here. I think Ray Fisher's a great cyborg. It's a shame that all this mess and drama that's going on. So he's really solid in the film. I really like that they kind of towards the climax of the film, it's his dad narrating, which is awesome. It's Dyson from Terminator 2. I thought it was definitely the great thing about the Snyder cut is that there's more to go with, right? There's more scenes make more sense, and that kind of helps the Batman v Superman director's cut. It's very similar. Scenes make more sense. The whole investigation of Batman. This one it makes more sense and a very good clarity. The father and son dynamic, the Cyborg's backstory, like, and then the climax of him embracing of who he is. Like his arc is a lot of arcs in here really reached their potential that we didn't do. He really chopped the shit out of that one. But here's the thing though. With Snyder, this is a 4-hour, it's a movie, but you don't get 4-hour movies. It's just never going to happen when it comes to, releasing in theaters or whatever. It just never happens. And this is just a unique case. So I'm absolutely curious to see if Snyder never left and he was able to cut this film and release this film, how much of a lot of this material and the new material would really affect that cut. How different will we be praising Snyder if it was kind of like that, if it was cut to 2 to 3 hour? Like, what would Snyder do? Because I think all this context and all this new information, bringing more into a lot of the scenes that we saw Whedon's, bravo, but this is a unique situation, and it kind of hits you over the head. Like, maybe television is the way to go because you have more time to explore these characters and give them proper arcs, while a 2.5 or 3 hour movie is just not going to do that. And I think it would have failed if Snyder were to continue and to actually finish that first go around, because you just would have lost a lot of that extra content that would really made this special. I didn't think he could do it, honestly. I didn't think he could really bring something different to the table, especially I literally watched the Whedon's version of Justice League and I went straight into this, and you just overall feel the different tone. Some of the scenes I could see why they're kind of unnecessary, like some of the humor with the Flash. I think the Flash was a hit and a miss. I think some of it's not as jokey as the Whedon's, of course, but some of the Flash scenes, especially when he's going for a job and then he saves Iris West, I feel like that could have been on a cutting room floor, especially if Iris West never comes back. Ezra Miller I like Ezra Miller as a Flash. I don't really like him as a person, but I like him as the Flash. They get rid of like the jokes it's a lot more maturity. Some of the jokes don't even land in this film. But with the Flash, I do love the fact that, I think his story was the least most compelling. But I do love how he's more of a player in this film. Like before, he just pushes people and he saves one person. Here, he's actually helping the team. He's a big contribute to a lot of what the events that happen at the end. So the Flash is actually really shines in here. Same with Cyborg. I think they both get a nice little boost and are better, way better cut and filled and written in this Snyderverse than the Whedon was, of course. So I'm happy to see the Flash actually, even though I don't like some of the stuff, like I said, some of the stuff could have been cut. You still get a couple jokes here and there. Thank God they cut the brunch joke out. But he was still solid, especially like when he was having a helping hand with Steppenwolf and Superman. So Ezra Miller as the Flash, and especially when he gets shot and he's healing himself, I thought that was a really cool scene and really great too. So Aquaman, that's probably the least out of everybody. Zack Snyder really kind of didn't kind of dropped the ball on Aquaman. Aquaman's good in the film. I think he's good for what he's given. Jason Momoa, he's fine. He's pretty much the same version as the Whedons. I just think that they didn't really know what to do with Aquaman. I think at the time too, Aquaman didn't even come out yet. So now that he's more established after his solo film, I feel like now Snyder would know what to do with Aquaman. So I think Aquaman was fine in the film. Jason Momoa, I like him as Aquaman. I think he's good. That background scene still looks terrible when he's talking to Bruce, and then he does say like Batman and Bruce at the same sentence while Bruce is recruiting him. So I do like the cut on Bruce and Aquaman. It's better. The cuts in here are just better. I think Snyder saw Whedon's and he's like, I think Snyder did watch Whedon's. They said he didn't, but I think he watched Whedon's and he said, okay, this is what works. I'm definitely not going to do that. I was thinking about doing that, but I'm not going to do that. So I think he did watch Whedon's, even though he says he didn't. I don't believe him. The music choices were solid when it went on with the film. Like I said, some of the music choices, like the chorus throughout the film, when Wonder Woman would especially pop in, I didn't necessarily like. I thought they could have used it once and that was it, but I would have taken that out, honestly. The action sequences were so much better, especially with the lighting and then the color palette, especially when Batman is getting the like the spider like bot looking thing. The Superman resurrection was pretty much the same, just altered a little bit. Especially, it made more sense with Batman, I guess. I do like the fact that he had a contingency plan, and that was Lois. But in here, Lois is more of a she just happened to be there type of situation, which I was like, I like the other kind of version. Don't get me wrong, I hate the version where Batman's just laying there like a bum. So I liked how Snyder changed that up, but I think Batman would have been a little bit more smarter when confronting a resurrected Superman. So, man, there's just 4 hours of this stuff, and honestly, I would recommend watching 2 hours, taking a break, and then coming back and watching the last 2 hours. The film is a success to me because I enjoy the hell out of it. I don't know if I would watch the whole thing. But I would definitely put it on the background, and the first go around was such an enjoyable experience, so much better. I don't think Whedon's is god awful where you can't watch it. There is things in there you can watch, and like I said, I like Whedon's contribution to the Diana and Bruce dynamic. But with this one is just by far a way superior film. It's a way superior film. The nightmare scene I would have cut out. I don't even think you even need that. The Martian Manhunter scene I would have cut out. You didn't really need that. You should have ended with the Cyborg and Miles Dyson epilogue. But he wanted to throw that in for the fans, and you never know if there's a lot of talk of multiverse and stuff. So maybe we'll come back to the Snyderverse. I don't know. I just feel like those were unnecessary scenes. Or Darkseid. Freaking awesome. Love the look. Absolutely love the look. So they switch places. It's not Steppenwolf that's when Diana recaps the whole war. It's actually a Darkseid. Darkseid. He looks great. I love the voice. I love the look. A lot of the looks in here too, even though it's CGI, especially when Steppenwolf is talking to like Darkseid's like fucking minion or whatever, like that, he looked great. Like there's a lot of cool CGI moments. There's a lot of paying attention to detail, especially with Steppenwolf's suit. So the detail in this movie is really great, and whatever money he had and he reshot and he redid really paid off. I think I could see the money put into this film. I want more Bruce Batman and Alfred interaction. I think that's a solid casting. Jeremy Irons and Ben Affleck, I think they have freaking great chemistry. So let's go to the nightmare scene. The Lex Luthor scene, I still think they need to replace Lex Luthor casting-wise, but it's whatever we were given at the end scene is a lot better than what we got in Batman v Superman. We didn't get no Jolly Ranchers thrown around. The Deathstroke Deathstroke looks good. I would like to see a Batman and Deathstroke movie. The Joker though, the Joker, Jared Leto's Joker, still is a miss for me. It's not coming across really great. Like it was in like right when he gets introduced, but then he kept going, and then you're like, yeah, that's Suicide Squad Joker. He's just not cutting it, man. Jared Leto's Joker is just not that great compared to a lot of the other Jokers that we've seen in the past. It's a shame, but I just don't think it works. So I mean, we covered most of the Justice League, and the film itself is just a ball. Like, I just think it's just so much better. And if you can make a film, I'm just truly impressed with Snyder being able to just get this old footage, the same footage that we didn't use, and to really make something new out of it and refreshing. It's not a perfect, it's not perfect, but it's damn near close. It's a damn, like, for all that clamoring for Snyder cut, this and that, it does its job. And if you do your job and you make me entertained and you make me think like, God damn, this is a really damn good cut and it's a really damn movie. Just thinking about what happened with Whedon releasing that Justice League and then coming to this is a far superior movie. And I would like for HBO to really think about like maybe doing something like this again, maybe doing a 4-hour premiere, an actual premiere, maybe continuing Snyderverse or doing something along the lines, because I think the 4-hour thing, you do need an intermission, but if you're not going to give it a mini TV series, you could definitely do a 4-hour thing and people will come, they'll watch a little bit and they'll come back. Streaming is all about home comfortability, where you could come back and continue and finish watching a movie. I actually thought it kind of worked out because it made me think about like the first half and then wondering what's going to happen the second half. So that could be a new way of doing things, but it did its job. I freaking love what happened here. I love that Snyder got to finish this. I don't agree with him on Batman v Superman, but I hell of a lot agree with him on this movie. I know a lot of people are going to probably have mixed feelings about it, but honestly, I think it did its job. I'm super impressed with just the changing of the tone, changing of the color palette, changing of the scenes, just a simple different editing that it makes Justice League a hell of a lot better. I don't like Mira. Hope Amber Heard gets fired. But I'm looking forward to see. I think Warner Brothers would be stupid to not continue at least some aspect in some form of the Snyderverse. I think Snyder bringing in Darkseid and how he fixed Steppenwolf, because Steppenwolf by all means is not Thanos, but he was way more likable in this cut than in Whedon's. So if he could do that, I mean, I'm excited to see what he could do for this future war. Martian Manhunter, I think he needs to improve on Batman. Bruce, he's good. Batman, though, he needs to improve on Batman, but I could see a little spark right there, especially at the end with Bruce and Clark. And they're at the house, and Bruce buys back the house. You can see that little chemistry right there between Henry and Ben, and I would love to see that go forward too. So I don't know what's going to happen. There was multiverse kind of thrown out there. We got news of, the Flash, maybe Paradox. It's not the Flash Paradox, but it is like time traveling kind of deal or multiverse kind of deal. Michael Keaton, been long rumors and speculation that he's coming into the fold. So I don't know. I want to see this happen. I would love to see a multiverse of this DC property, and it could work. So we'll see what happens in the future. But right now, what if I had to say if the Zack Snyder Snyder Cut is a huge, in my opinion, success. It's something that you thought you counted him out, but he actually nailed it. And he actually did a fantastic job, and I got to give it up to Zach. I still don't, like I said, agree with him on Batman v Superman. I like Man of Steel, but I think he hit a home run with this one. So thank you guys for listening. Let me know what you guys thought about the film. I mean, it was 4 hours. What was your favorite parts of the new footage, or just overall the film? Like the video, you help me a lot. Support the channel, subscribe to the channel so you guys see all my content. We got a lot of content on the way. I am Dan the Man, aka Daniel's son, and I'm out of here. I'm gonna go get some sleep.